DreAllDay.com.
The point of this is that the darkness isn't that far away. When we talk about darkness, is a simple analogy. If any of you ever walk into a room and the lights wasn't on, you turn the lights on, what happens? Immediately the room gets brightened up, right? The light fills the room, now the room is light. Now, how far away is the darkness? I actually got this from this guy named Jim Rohn, who's passed away now. He's like one of the legends of what we now know as personal development. So he said, when you walk into a room, you turn the light on, immediately the darkness goes away. The light chases away the darkness. But how far away is that darkness? It's not very far, because guess what? If somebody turns that light off, how soon does it become dark again? Immediately. And the reason I share that is because people ask, why do people need motivation every single day? Why do you have to repeat the same principles over and over? Why does somebody have to do these certain principles of work and whatever you're doing every single day over and over and over again? It's because the darkness isn't far away. What's up, George? Hot 20. The darkness ain't far away from anybody. No, not Jim Rome. Not Rome, R-O-M-E. This is a different Jim. Jim, R-O-H-N. Rome. Rome with an N at the end. Not M as in Massachusetts, N as in Nebraska. That's a completely different guy. Not Jim Rome, the ESPN guy. Jim Rome, the ESPN guy. Angel Prophetic, what's going on? OMG Dame, what's up? So we talking about here the darkness not being far away. And I'll give you, if we just think about anything that you do in life, I talk about this all the time. Anything that you're good at, you have routines for, right? Anything that you're good at. Think of this, all of you who are watching this, all the things that you're good at, you have a routine for, which means you usually do it every single day. You do it on a very consistent basis, and you're so good at it that you got to the point that you probably didn't even think about how good you were at it until I mentioned it, and you start thinking about something you're good at, and you say, you know what, I am good at that. You're good at tying your shoes. You're good at chewing food without having to think about it. You're good at brushing your teeth, because these are things that you do every single day. You're good at walking up and down steps. Remember when you couldn't walk up steps? Remember when you were so young? You probably don't remember, but when you were a baby, you couldn't walk up steps. You could barely stand up. Now you're so good at it because you do it over and over and over again. The point is, the darkness not being far away means this. So as soon as you stop sticking to your disciplines and doing the things every single day that got you to a position of being good, you can immediately lose it. The darkness can come right back in on you. Let's just say you go on, you decide to change your lifestyle. You decide to change your lifestyle as far as the way that you eat. So you start eating healthier. You start eating the greens and the spinach. You go to the health food store. You get you some supplements. Whatever you do, you start drinking all this water. The light has come in. You got the light has come into your life as far as the way that you eat. But then what happens? How far away is that darkness? It's not far at all, because guess what? If one day you're out, let's say you're traveling, there's no good food around you in the airport, and then you eat, what's up, Eternal Sunshine? You go and eat a candy bar, and then you eat a bag of chips, and then you drink a soda. How far away is that darkness? All of a sudden, you might be right back on that slippery slope. Now that you got that taste in your mouth, you got that soda, you got that candy, you got those chips. Now, next time you see something, guess what? You might buy some. You might buy some more. Then you see some fried chicken, you eat that. Then there's a McDonald's over there, you go eat that. And then all of a sudden, you right back in the darkness. So the light and the darkness is a battle going on at all times. The light versus the dark. And understand, just because there's light right now, it doesn't mean that it's always going to be light. What's up, Miss Dilara, checking in from Russia. Understand that the light will not always be there. You got to keep the light there. It's not going to be there by default, rather. The light can always be there if you continue to be vigilant, if you keep working over and over and over again. How does somebody stay motivated? And Eternal Sunshine, thank you for sharing. For those of you, all the rest of y'all watching, please share this on your feeds, on Twitter, whatever. And can I get some hearts here? The heart is about the flat line. We don't want the heart to flat line, then I won't be able to keep talking. So can I get some hearts from the people watching right now? What's up, Chris Lee? George Hawk checking back in. People say, people might think, well, why do I got to get motivated every single day? Why do I got to get something? Exactly. It's a choice to walk in the light. Why do I got to do something that gets me up and motivated and pumped up every single day, or gets me into my mental zone every single day? Because people ask me, Dre, do you do something every day to get into a mental zone, to get yourself in the right mindset before you go do whatever it is you're going to do every day? The answer is yes, every single day. Why? Because when you do it every single day, you keep the lights on. If I stop doing it, guess what? It's going to start getting dark all of a sudden. All of a sudden, I'm sitting in the dark, and I'm like, damn, what happened to all that light? And then I got to start all back over again. So when the light's there, you got to keep doing what you did to get the light there. And you could apply this to anything. Yeah, how many of you ever been in a relationship when a relationship starts off, you or the other person, is being very attentive to the other person. You're doing everything good to help this other person out. You being a perfect gentleman or a perfect lady to this individual. And then as time goes on, you get comfortable. You get comfortable. You feeling a little bit more relaxed with this person. You stop doing the things that got them to attract to you in the first place. You stop being so polite. You stop thinking of the other person. You stop anticipating things that can make them happy. And then all of a sudden, it's like there's darkness all of a sudden. You're like, damn, what happened to this relationship that was so great a couple months ago or a couple years ago or a couple weeks or a couple days ago? And you see that happening all the time in relationships. Maybe not you, maybe somebody you know or something you saw on TV. Why is that? That's because people stop doing the things that got them into the light. You got to do that. Whether you play a sport, you're a basketball player. People ask me, Dre, how long do I got to work on my handles to get good at dribbling? Forever. You got to work on your handles forever, because there's never a point when you can stop working on your handles. I like that little arrow thing. I never saw that arrow that came up, Eternal Sunshine. Every single day, exactly. This is going to go on YouTube. Yes, it is. Radio Nation Raw, what's up? #1 Hearts guy, Radio Nation Raw is in the room. So understand, ladies and gentlemen, that when you play a sport, as I was saying, you play basketball, there's no point when you can stop working. You got to keep working every single day. Once you get good at dribbling a basketball, can you stop working on it? Can you stop practicing dribbling a basketball once you get good at it? No, because if you stop practicing it, what's going to happen? You're going to lose the skill. All of a sudden, you're not going to be able to dribble anymore. Now you can barely dribble. You're like, damn, I was really good. I worked for 3 years straight and got good at dribbling, and then I just relaxed, and now all of a sudden I can't dribble no more. The thing, people with shooting, exactly same thing. People like, how long do I gotta? They say, Dre, how long do you have to work on your jump shot to get good at shooting? I'm like, forever. There's never a point where you can stop unless you decide you don't want to be good at shooting a jump shot no more. Now, at that point, you can stop practicing if you don't want to be good. As long as you want to be good at anything, ladies and gentlemen, a relationship, your business, your motivation, anything that you're thinking, Eternal Sunshine says she needs discipline. Well, that's what I do. I'm actually a discipline expert. But we'll get to that in a second. The thing is, as I was saying, your business, your sport, your fitness, your mentality, your relationships, anything that you do in life, you have to consistently work on it to keep it doing the thing that it's supposed to do. Like if you got a car, let's say you got a car, you drive your car every single day, then you go away on vacation for a month and you don't touch your car once. When you come back, you might have trouble starting that car. Why? Because the light went away. You stopped doing the routines. You stopped getting the car moving, letting the engine turn over, getting that gas flowing. You might have dead gas in there, stale gas. The parts in the car might rust out if it's sitting in the cold or if it got wet. You got to keep doing the things over and over and over again. And sometimes people ask, they like, damn, looking at, they project out what they're doing, their work or whatever they're involved in. They're like, damn, it seems like I'm going to have to do this forever. I'm always going to have to be working. I'm always going to be doing this. I'm always going to be doing that. Is that true? And the answer commonly is yes. Yeah, you're always going to be doing it. As long as you want to be moving ahead and doing better at something, you're going to always be working at it. Now, is there a point in life when you can take the foot off the gas? Yes, there are points when you can take the foot off the gas with certain details of certain things. And maybe you get to the point where you retire from working and you're like, okay, well, no, I don't want to work no more. Maybe you saved up enough money or you got some business system or you got your investments. You don't need to work no more. Cool. But you're not going to be advancing in business because you're not pushing the business anymore. You understand? But hey, maybe one day you'll get to that point when you, whatever age, where you decide you don't want to work anymore. Do you understand what I'm saying, though? The mentality of it, the fundamental principle of it is that anything that you want to be good at, you want that light to be filling your room in your sport, your business, your mentality, your relationship, you got to keep the lights on. You got to keep paying the electric bill to keep the lights on. Because if you turn a light on in your crib and you never pay the electric bill, eventually the light's just going to cut out by itself, even if you don't do nothing, right? Because you didn't pay the bill. So you got to keep paying that bill every day by being motivated, by paying attention to the people around you, by focusing on your business, by doing the disciplines, by working on your game. That's the only way you keep the light coming in. Does that make sense to everybody? Now, let me take some questions from the live audience. Shout out to everybody watching this on replay and everybody watching on YouTube. I'm taking questions from people watching live here on Periscope. This video is recorded if you're watching the replay or YouTube. Watching this video, I'm sure you were entertained. Make sure to stay connected with me on all your favorite social networks. Twitter and Periscope at DreAllDay, Instagram Dre Baldwin, Facebook /WorkOnYourGame. You can bookmark my YouTube channel by subscribing, of course, and the website is WorkOnYourGame. That's .me, WorkOnYourGA.me. And of course, my homepage is my website, DreAllDay.com, so you can know exactly what I'm doing, exactly when I'm doing it, and how you might be able to be involved. Work on your game.